Hi, welcome back to my channel. Again, my name is Abiola Adele. And like I said in Fashion 101, the last video, where I talked about the definition of fashion design, and I mentioned that fashion is influenced by culture, by religion, by everything around us. Today, I'll be talking about careers or job roles that can be found in the fashion industry. Trust me, I will definitely forget some roles because fashion is really wide. Something that is not something that you can just like grab and all of that. But then move with me as we go. So I'll be starting with the design team because that is actually like the central role for everybody. Because once you're coming into the fashion industry, the first place everybody goes or the first role everybody thinks about is the seamstress, the fashion designers, the one that are doing the actual sewing and all of that. But then there are other jobs and it is much more than that. So let's go straight into it. Talking about this one is really wide, so I will definitely be looking down occasionally. Okay, first we have the fashion designers, we have the merchandisers, we have the tech designers, we have the pattern makers, we have the illustrators, we have the sample makers, we have the fashion educators, we have the fashion analysts here. Different roles for different person. The illustrators are the people that draw out the design, the use of Photoshop, the like. For those that don't know how to use Photoshop, would know how to use croquis using and we'll do that in course of this class. I'll show you how to make croquis. Then raw material section, the textile designers, the print designers, the graphic designers, the fabric mills, converters, trim designers. I'm sure people will be like, trim designers. Okay. Yes, trim designers. All those trims that you use, the zips, the buttons, it is people that design it. It is people that make it. They don't just happen. They didn't fall from heaven. So it is someone that make it. It is somebody's job, like an actual job for someone. So because it's been imported here in Nigeria, we really do not see a lot of things. So there are trim designers, button designers, leather tanneries. There are handmade categories as well, like knitters, crocheters, weavers, beadings, and the likes like that. Those things are made in hand. They are actual works made by people. Though there are machines now that make some of those things, yet we still in Nigeria, yeah, there are lots of knitters and all of that they make use of their hand, even outside Nigeria. Yeah. So talking about embellishment, so we have embroidery, we have appliques, we have wash houses, we have dye houses, we have beadings, we have laser cutting. Okay, so let's talk about the production pattern makers. Yeah. They are sample makers, they are production pattern makers. The sample makers are basically they are in charge of getting the designs right. All they have to do is, okay, this is a sample design. This is what it has to look like. This is the details. So they are in charge of getting it right, getting all those details right, and in the right proportion and places. Then the production pattern makers, they are in charge of the actual making of the jobs, like getting the job done without diluting the design or anything. They produce it. So the specific product pattern makers, grader, marker makers, cutters, sewers, then finishers and the likes like that. Now, those people, the people that we iron and all, yes, they are the finishers. Now, those roles, they are for different people. Like I said, this is Nigeria, so it is a mix up for us. But in some industries, there are people that are actually doing the job. So majorly large scale production, yes. When it is large scale production, there are actual people that are in charge of different things. So the grading, the marker makers, the cutters, the sewers, the finishers. Each person is like you don't have to come into fashion design to be a fashion designer. There are other roles that you can find interesting, you can find suiting for you that works for you. You can be an educator, you can be a model, stuff like that. So those are the things we are picking out here. You can probably sit down, design appliques or or design trimmings, graphic designs, textile. You don't have to come into the fashion business to sit down and then by fire by force do sewing. I believe you understand what I'm saying. So there are different parts to it. You could be a fashion analyst. All of those things are the things that help fashion industry to grow, and you having this information will help you know that it is beyond you sitting down on a machine to sew, because a fashion analyst will go a long way in the fashion industry. That's the truth. By the time you are able to analyze the thing, anybody that wants to get a loan for from Bank of Industry, due to your analysis, they can the Bank of Industry will get the right information that they need to help the brand grow, to help the fashion industry grow. And that is how the fashion industry is able to spread out, grow more, because people have the right information and they are able to work in their own capacity, not decide, or things are not decided by, okay, this is how it's been done, or this is a must. I sit down and sew, or like, majorly in Nigeria, fashion design is seen as a job of lazy housewife, or somebody's girlfriend, that let me just learn something, or let me just keep myself busy with something. So, and it is actually beyond that. It is a whole industry that requires a whole lot. But then, because there are so many people that are into it, just because let me just do something, or let me just keep myself busy till I get that right job, they don't the information does not spread, and we don't know that there are actual things that is going down into the industry that people do not know of. Okay, let me talk about the sales part. The sales part, we have direct to customer sales, and we have the wholesales. Now, look at that. You are the one doing the sewing, you are still the one advertising, going about your sales and all. And a lot of business people don't know that. Okay, let me say, a lot of fashion designers don't know that before they can actually be called a fashion designer or a creative director, they are first a CEO, especially when it is their own brand. We'll talk more about that later, but then let's keep the focus on this. Okay, so let me talk about this sales chain under direct to consumer. We have the buyers, we have the retail crew, we have the visual merchandisers, we have the online shop managers, we have the web designers and all. These are other professions, these are other jobs that is under direct to consumer sales. Like all of these things that I've been mentioning, there are other jobs that are within the industry that you can find and do according to how it suits you or what works for you as a person. Okay, wholesales, we have the sales rep, we have the showrooms, we have the trade show production, all of those. Then we have the marketing, we have the PR, we have the social media, sorry. We have the social media, we have the runway, we have the ads agency. Now, still under marketing, still under runway, we have stylists, we have models, we have hair and makeup, we have set designers, we have runway producers, we have photo and videography. All of these things will not be done by one person, definitely. So these are other jobs, like I've said earlier, and it is people that will actually fill up the role. Okay, so under the ads agencies, still under marketing, I have mentioned four things. I mentioned PR, I mentioned social media, I mentioned runway, I mentioned ads agencies. And still under ads agencies, we have the billboard. It is somebody that will do billboard for you now. We have the magazine ads, we have the TV communications, we have the fashion films, we have the website ads, we have the social media. All of those things, it is still people that will fill up the role. Okay, so we have journalism too. Now, under journalism, we have writers, we have photo and videographers, we have editors, we have web designers, we have their own graphic designer with editorial team. Now, it's so broad. Like, I think you get what I'm saying now. We have magazine, we have newspaper, we have blogs, we have podcasts, we have websites. It is people that will fill up all of these roles, and yeah. Okay, so we have shipping. Imagine all of this production going on and then there is no shipping. I mean, it is actual shipping that spreads out what has been produced. So the clothes that we get to, like, they are not okay. You are seeing it online, yes, but it is still something tangible that it has to get to you and it has to touch you. Like, you have to wear it and people will see it. Like, there's no way you can remove shipping out of it. Okay, so under shipping, we have the credit card, we have the finances, we have e-commerce, we have logistics, we have the HR, we have the IT, we have the knockoffs, we have the real estate. Okay, I will explain the knockoffs. The knockoffs are, all of those people that they make when they see Nike, Nike logo is like this, but then you see their own and then it comes down, or you see their own, it's not up, it is down. Those are knockoffs. Those people that will draw Adidas and then their own Adidas will be like this. Those are the people that are knockoffs. Yet they are making their money out of the fashion industry, and they still have their own work chain, just like the normal Adidas. So all of these roles are what we can find in the fashion industry. So you just have to look for something that works for you. You see, I still forgot to mention models. Yeah, so there are still models that will walk down the wrong way for you now, that will model your clothes and also all of those things are all of these things that I've mentioned, they are part of the job roles, or yes, they are part of the job roles that you can find in the fashion industry. So take your time, sit down, relax, and then check out what works for you, and then just dive into it. Okay, so in the next edition, I'll be talking about something a bit different. Probably we'll look into fashion illustration. We learn how to draw croquis and all. So yeah. Till my next class. Have a great time.